Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends, and for those who regulated by me, regulatees, good morning. It's my first time joining the Hong Kong FinTech Festival. And as Halloween is coming up, you see the orange pumpkin beside me, you are also in for a treat. Unlike many very well presenters before me, this is my first time preparing my speech over a script. And, but this is a speech that I did with a lot of efforts with my team and also myself, because this is a very important topic we're going to talk about today, which is about virtual assets. I may have joined the Commission for only 5 months, but I have attended quite a number of regulatory events. At all these events, there's a recurring theme, which is virtual assets. Virtual assets are at the forefront of every financial regulator's agenda, including the SFC. And the market already trading a sizable volume is too big to ignore. This also means a large number of investors out there need to be protected through regulation and education. At the same time, we have seen genuine momentum for innovation. And the vast potential of distributed ledger technology is waiting to be unleashed. Today, the Hong Kong FinTech Week is a timely occasion for me to share with you the SFC virtual asset journey and our plans ahead. So what has driven the progress of the virtual asset market? Let me highlight 3 key factors. First, most important of all, is driven by a pool of brilliant minds and talents. Second, is the substantial economics already generated in the industry. Third, the younger demographic. Research has shown that the average age investing in stocks is over 40, while those trading cryptos are much younger, likely in the 20s. Our attempt to regulate this emerging market is no easy task, as we are competing against a huge existing marketplace that is technologically advanced, borderless, and loosely regulated. We have seen big uptick and volatility, and at the same time, we have also seen frauds as well as corporate meltdowns. We do see 2 evolving trends working in our favor. First, as much revenue is being generated and the investment community is growing in size, virtual asset practitioners are receiving increasing scrutiny from law enforcement agencies and regulators alike. Many jurisdictions have taken tougher legal actions, with some become rather litigious, as fines and even imprisonment in severe cases have been imposed. Many players who used to benefit in an unregulated marketplace now start to take a step back, as they have to choose between running a legitimate, sustainable operation and being a fugitive constantly on the run. The second trend in our favor is the gradual convergence between traditional finance, TradFi, and Web3. The growing participation of TradFi in the virtual asset space brings along valuable compliance concepts in areas such as anti-money laundering, conflicts of interest, client suitability, safe custody, to name a few. At the SFC, we firmly believe the future of virtual assets lies in a regulated marketplace that balances its development with investor protection. We do not need to reinvent too many wheels, as our experience in securities regulation lays a strong foundation. The core principle underlying our virtual asset regulation is same business, same risk, same rules, which is the pillar of our financial market. At the same time, as I shared at a major regulatory forum recently, we need to keep ourselves on our toes as a regulator. If virtual asset liquidity still resides in unregulated venues after all our efforts, and regulated entities cannot operate a sustainable business model, then we need to reflect on why investors don't pick our state-of-the-art regulatory framework. In short, we need to listen to the market and balance between regulatory perfection and market development. Now, in Hong Kong, we are off to a good start. Not only we are at the global forefront in terms of virtual asset regulation. We are also witnessing the largest year-on-year growth in virtual asset transaction volumes from 2023 to 2024. Perhaps this is one of the reasons why we have received so many inquiries from local and global players on our licensing regime for virtual asset trading platforms, or we call it VATPs. Let me jump straight into about our most frequently asked question, which is, what is the progress on licensing VATPs in Hong Kong? In short, I would say we are doing well. 3 VATPs are currently licensed, and we are processing the application from another 14. Our key regulatory focus this year is on those applicants deemed to be licensed starting this year on 1st June. There are 11 so-called deemed applicants with pre-existing business in Hong Kong, and we are adopting a swift approach. Instead of going through a document-based vetting process, I've spent the last 5 months conducting risk-based on-site inspection on all of them to assess critical areas such as safekeeping of client virtual assets, cybersecurity, and the processes for AML and KYC. In the last 5 months, we have completed all the on-site inspections and provided feedback to the applicants. During the inspection, the SFC has been able to learn about this firm's state of compliance firsthand and directly engage with the personnel and, more importantly, the ultimate controllers to facilitate their understanding of our expectations. The applicants and their controllers have, by and large, taken up our feedback, and they are willing to commit resources to rectify issues and take a long-term view in developing their business in a regulated environment. This gives us great comfort and confidence in the market's long-term success. We are now taking a 3-pronged approach for processing our license applications. Step 1, the applicants have to agree with us on rectification actions after they receive our on-site inspection feedback. Step 2, the SFC will grant licenses to these applicants and at the same time allow them to operate on a restricted scope of business after rectification. As things currently stand, as our financial secretary concurred, we are on track to license a few deemed applicants by the end of this year so that they can commence business shortly afterwards. There's also a step 3. We will join forces with licensed VATPs to strengthen their robustness through an external third-party review, jointly conducted by the consultant, SFC, and the VATP. Once the review is completed, the platform can operate with the restricted business scope lifted. However, licensing is only the beginning of our work, not the end. With more platforms regulated in Hong Kong, it is necessary for us to consider a sustainable business environment as we balance our regulatory priorities. Therefore, the SFC will establish an official consultative panel in early 2025 for all licensed platforms. Each and every licensee will be represented. We trust the consultative panel will foster a sense of community, transparency, and shared responsibility among the participants. We expect the panel deliberation will result in a comprehensive virtual assets white paper that outlines the development roadmap for products and services, as well as potential enhancement in compliance and risk management. Next is our work to piece the rest of the regulatory regime puzzle. To establish a comprehensive framework for virtual assets, we should make reference to how trading, settlement, and custody work in the traditional securities market. The objective is to facilitate liquidity for the purpose of price formation and risk transfer. The SFC has been actively reaching out to the community to understand their business models, for example, for the asset managers, market makers, broker-dealers, traders, etc. And also, we are trying to understand what will be an efficient and AML-compliant on- and off-ramp model. Our objective is to understand the type of market structure enhancements necessary to encourage more diverse trading liquidities. It is also important to understand how third-party custodians can better support the industry growth in areas such as secure safeguard of assets and on-chain transfers. While we are trying to leverage our existing regulatory framework to the extent possible, we are also supporting the Hong Kong government to determine further legislative framework for virtual asset trading and custody, and will conduct necessary public consultations to introduce new licensing regimes. Some of these initiatives have already been mentioned in our Chief Executive's 2024 policy address. Needless to say, these efforts will be highly coordinated between the government and the relevant regulators, as we need to ensure our regulatory regime is holistic and consistent to safeguard against potential regulatory arbitrage. Now, from virtual assets to tokenization of real-world assets. Following the issuance of the circulars last year, we have seen the SFC efforts in tokenization gradually coming into fruition. As a core member of the architecture community of the Hong Kong Monetary Authority's Project Ensemble, the SFC co-leads the tokenization initiatives for the asset managers with the Hong Kong MA. Project Ensemble is a key milestone on our tokenization journey, which will bring about a unified standard for settling tokenized asset transactions. The participating financial institutions have proposed a vast number of innovative use cases to achieve scale and interoperability within Hong Kong. For example, a local bank has successfully tested the use of tokenized deposit in the Project Ensemble sandbox to subscribe and redeem tokenized money market fund for its institutional investors. I'm sure you will hear more exciting news in the FinTech week. I'm also particularly excited by the fiat reference stablecoin regime to be implemented by the Hong Kong MA, and we would like to see regulated stablecoins available for public usage as early as 2025. In order to unleash the true benefit of settlement certainty and efficiency, equally important is for us to consider how virtual assets traded on VATPs can interact with regulated stablecoins. Lastly, let me say a few words on SFC's core mission to protect the interests of investors. Given the borderless nature of virtual assets and their appeal to the younger generation, the potential harms to investors have taken on new forms. As such, we must upskill ourselves in technical areas such as cybersecurity, cryptography, and wallet tracing solutions. Moreover, we must acknowledge the power of today's social media as a means of engaging has become largely digital. To navigate these changes, we have enhanced our investor protection efforts through more visible and proactive alert system. This is done through establishing robust monitoring and surveillance. And we have continuously stepped up collaboration with various law enforcement agencies. A key area of investor protection is education, and the SFC has adopted a multitude of tools to educate investors on virtual assets. We have stepped up our information dissemination. We also maintain and update an easily accessible list of suspicious and unregulated platforms to keep investors on guard and scam savvy. To widen our reach, the SFC has launched a comprehensive publicity campaign from TV drama to commercial to bus advertisement and online promotions to enhance the public awareness. A state-of-the-art regulatory framework will not work without international collaboration. This is particularly important to prevent market players from engaging in regulatory arbitrage. To this end, the SFC will continue its close collaboration with overseas regulators to monitor virtual asset trends and share experience and intelligence. The SFC will continue to play a leadership role in driving deliberations and alignments in International Organization of Securities Commission, IOSCO, and other international contests. To wrap this up, let me cite a famous quote. History does not repeat itself, but it often rhymes. Virtual asset market today is just like the securities market a century ago. As something new develops, there are always the believers and the skeptics, the visionaries and the naysayers. With every setback, there's always progress. But one thing remains constant. During this evolution, the market always gravitates towards those that pass the test of resilience. See what we have achieved. We have developed Hong Kong from a fishing village to a world-leading financial center, and I like our odds in doing the same for the virtual asset market. This week at the Hong Kong FinTech Week, we have over 30,000 global attendees from over 100 economies. I call upon the regulators and the market practitioners to continue to work together to explore the exciting unknown with not only vision and courage, but also care and discretion. The SFC will continue to adopt a pragmatic and proactive approach in building and advancing a holistic regulatory framework to strike a balance between market development and investor protection. I wish the Hong Kong FinTech Week 2024 another huge success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yip. Ladies and gentlemen, the next keynote address will take place in Mandarin. We have simultaneous translation available for you at the side of the stage. Channel 1 will be in English, and Channel 2 will be in Mandarin. And now, please welcome Fu Xiaochu, Director General, Guangzhou Municipal Local Finance Administration Bureau. Mr. Fu.